चलाई
कि वो एनर्जी उसकी खत्म हो गई।
खत्म हो
हाँ,
गई
वो
थी बिल्कुल।
आवाज नहीं,
लोगों
आवाज
में वो
नहीं।
मेंटल वो
मैं आई कमेंट
आ जाओ
प्लीज।
आदित्य
Yes, sir. थैंक यू सर
ठीक है, प्लीज टेक योर सीट। Good. So Aditya, you have a very impressive background. You did your engineering and then you did your MBA
यस सर
and you worked in ICICI Bank
यस सर
for a short while.
यस सर फॉर अ शॉर्टर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम
Okay. Why did you leave it so soon?
Sir, I think for a longer term of career orientation, it was a very wise choice because the role which I was doing over there was of strategic alliances. That was forging alliances between corporates and my bank. So I realized why not do it for the society and the government, which is the enabler of creating an environment that would go for a
Okay,
prosperous.
Okay. So what kind of strategic alliance did you try to work on?
Sir, I forged an alliance with Apple. Then I went on to do an
With
alliance.
Apple?
Yes, sir. With Apple, then Samsung, OnePlus.
So this alliance means what? You secured their account, is it? What was the alliance?
Sir, basically, it was a mutual relationship where the products of Apple would have to be sold through our accounts. Like if
and
yes,
you were offering some loan to the buyer.
it was a kind of some percentage basis of a thing. But
EMIs.
yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay. So tell me this thing. What is there was some issue in ICICI Bank for which the bank was in the news, some adverse notice.
Yes, sir. There were certain challenges.
What was the issue?
Sir, if I recall, it was related to some corporate misgovernance under the tenureship of Miss Chanda Kochar. So
This
it
is
was
Chanda
related to
Kochar,
that.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now what happened? Well, finally, she has been acquitted in that case.
Sir, since I'm not very briefed about the case, but yes, last I heard, she was granted bail from the High Court, but case is still being investigated.
Under
Yes, sir.
investigation.
Yes, sir, it is still under investigation.
The charge sheet is not been filed.
Sir, I'm not very sure, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, she has been released on bail in the meanwhile.
Yes, sir.
You tell me, what is this IOC? Your plot number so and so of IOC. Your father is working in IOC?
No, sir. That is the area where that locality is. That is mostly famous with that name.
Okay. Tell me what is meant by windfall gains. Have you heard this term?
Yes, sir. Windfall gains refers to those kind of benefits or in terms of monetary benefits that has not been planned but that has been unexpected in nature. It can be due to multiple reasons or many reasons.
So
that
what
were
is
not
the
accounted.
recently this term was it was in the news for in the context of some oil companies.
Yes, sir.
What was it?
Sir, I'm not very sure, but if allowed, I would like to take a guess on the story.
Okay, so long as it is a logical and reasoned guess, yes.
Sure, sir. Sir, I think with the given geopolitical crisis in the world, I think some kind of premium which companies might have been charging, it was on account of that, I guess. But still, I'm not very sure on that part.
No, it related to that, but I think that the details of it you don't know.
I'm unaware of, sir.
But anyway, as somebody who has done MBA, I would expect you to know better. Incidentally, who would make profit in this kind of a situation, which happened when the oil prices, whatever happened with the oil prices, and India made a deal with Russia and all that. Which kind of companies can make profit? Are you aware?
Sir, not aware, sir.
You are not aware?
Not aware, sir.
Of course, it was largely, I think, the refining companies.
Yes, sir. Refining companies would capitalize on the same.
How will they capitalize?
Sir, if oils are cheaper, they can store it for a longer time with the same amount of money that they would have paid in longer terms.
No, but oil was not cheaper. On the whole, oil was... anyway, okay, then you probably are not aware of it. Leave it. So tell me what is capital budgeting? You've done MBA.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what is capital budgeting?
Sir, basically it refers to the receipt and expenditure that is seen for a longer term of period. In terms of our Indian account of that is annual financial statement, it is mostly
No,
for
capital budgeting in the context of company is something else.
Sir, it may refer to long-term asset creation mostly.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it means basically means how to decide whether to go in for purchasing, as they call buy or lease option.
Yes, sir.
Whether to buy an asset or to just lease it.
Yes, sir.
So how is that done? There are some 4 or 5 standard methods of capital budgeting.
Sir, at present I am unable to recall.
Okay, you have worked in, look, let me not talk of this, probably you are not that conversant. So let me ask you, what is Gati Shakti mission?
Sir, Gati Shakti mission is to ensure that our logistics costs are cut down, because at present our logistics costs are at around 14 to 15% of the entire GDP. So our objective is to cut it to 7 to 8%.
How is it proposed to be reduced under this?
Sir, as far as I recall, there are certain schemes and provisions which is made by the central government in terms of national infrastructural pipeline, so that there would be synergies across the different departments and ministries.
Correct.
Who were hitherto have been working in silo, so that they would collaborate at one function, at one portal, so that there would be a synergetic alliance or some kind of a
in that particular portal, what are the facilities which are made available?
Sir, I'm not aware about the technicalities of the portal.
No, it is not the technicality. It basically, what is the information which becomes available to various departments or implementers of projects?
Sir, many a time it happens that most of the departments who have been working in silo, they are unaware about the functions of some other logistics that is being catered by the other department. So if there is information readily available, so that asymmetry can be done away with. And if there is a clear-cut information, so it would increase the transparency and trust factor. And at the end of the day, a common goal could be achieved. So this is what I guess.
No, okay. The latter part of it is not the relevant part.
Yes.
If you know what infrastructure is laid by others, then you know what would be mere duplication and what would be taking advantage of that infrastructure to, for example, you want to locate a project, what connectivity will be available or whether it will not be available, so on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me, if you have to, you belong to Bihar.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what are the strengths of Bihar?
Sir, the first would be the capacity of the people to persevere. That would be the first thing that I would call on.
Okay.
Second, that would be from the social side. The second, from the side of a state only, that would be the tourism factor. Because my state has been, it has been the center of civilizational culture for ancient
very
times.
Good. So tourism is second.
Third would be, I would go for agriculture, because my state has been granted with prosperous Ganges, so that can be another reason to prosper in terms of agriculture. Apart from that, fourth would be to revival of the ancient education system that was in my state, that is Nalanda, because it would be a
that
kind.
I don't know. Well, that is, of course. Now you tell me, these three are your strengths. You want to capitalize on this. How would you capitalize?
Sir,
if you based on what you are saying are your strengths.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I'll take a call on it. Sir, first, as I said about the agriculture part, since Bihar is 90% primarily agricultural, so I think value addition to those agricultural products can be a good thing, and at the same time making use of mega food parks that center is creating, that can be aligned with. When perseverance comes, my state is little bit laggard in literacy rate. So if adequately they can be skilled, so those person who are persevered, they can be meaningfully employed, so that prosperity can be brought. And third would be the cultural aspect, because not everybody can be meaningfully employed into each and every sector. But yes, tourism can be surely boosted, and we can definitely garner the economic growth for Bihar.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll take it where the Honorable Chair has left, agriculture in Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar about this concept, Green Revolution 2.0?
Sir, to an extent.
So what is that 2.0? What was there in 1.0?
Sir, as far as I know, Green Revolution 1.0 was the technological intervention in fields of agriculture. That was the use of fertilizer, chemicals and all everything in states of Punjab, Haryana and Western UP, which yielded so much of product with terms of agriculture, and we achieved a food security. That was the need of those years. So the same kind of initiative was to be replicated in the eastern part of the country, where we are laden with the fertile lands. So I guess Green Revolution 2.0 is something related to that.
Something more than that.
Sir, at present I am unable to recall.
Can you correlate with the climate change, the increase in temperature,
Not very sure, sir.
climate resilient agriculture, millets?
Yes, sir. Millets, I recall this year is also International Year of Millets, because millets are recently they have been termed as nutri-cereals, so that may be one of the reasons.
So what should be the key components of Green Revolution 2.0? Or sometimes they say evergreen green, green revolution.
I'm not very sure, sir.
Dr. Swaminathan?
I'm not very sure, sir.
Who is Swaminathan, Dr. Swaminathan?
Sir, as far as I recall, he was one of the agricultural scientists.
What was his contribution to the Indian agriculture?
Basically, we use his formulas for formulating MSPs.
So what is that formula for MSP?
At present, what we do is A2 plus FL multiplied with 1.5 times. But what he had proposed was also the inclusion of C2, some intangible cost which was not hitherto apparently visible. So his formula would have been a bigger cost to the exchequer.
So what is that intangible component in the C2?
Sir, there are certain aspects of that.
What is that certain, quote and unquote?
Sure, sir. I'll do it. Many a times farmers own land. So on that land, if that would have been leased to somebody else, they would have received some rent or interest. So that is not accounted in the present A2 plus FL.
Okay. How this MSP is, taken to the logical conclusion? What is the trajectory?
Sir, I think in current scenario.
I don't know, because every year this is a ritual. Who initiates it? Who proposes it? And who approves it?
Sure, sir.
It has a trajectory.
Yes, sir.
Because you mentioned that, so I am tempted to ask this question. What is the trajectory of logical conclusion or logical announcement of minimum support price?
Sir, minimum support price is proposed by CACP, that is Cost of Agricultural Commission for Agricultural Cost and Program. I'm not very sure, but sir, it is somewhat near to it. It proposes the formula for MSP and gives a very specific data based on inflation, demand, supply and global market trends. After that, that proposal goes to Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs, from where the MSP is approved, and then it is enrolled for prior the harvest only, even before the same is done.
Okay, now let's come back to the philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Philosophy is your optional.
Yes, sir.
Okay, suppose you are the collector of Patna. How will you apply philosophy? This is a hypothetical question.
Yes, sir.
As a collector of Patna and your application of philosophy,
yes, sir,
that career of collector.
Sir, philosophy has ensured that there are two things that I would always go for. The mean between the empiricism and rationalism. Rationalism would ensure that I would always collect evidences and data. At the same time, I have to ensure that those data are free from bias, because if data is not correct, then I would be making a mistake. So at the same time, if I am making a rational basis for the data collected that is based on empiricism, I think I'll be able to implement the policies of government properly.
Okay, now my last two questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
For Indian Administrative Service, your choice is Bihar number 1, Jharkhand number 2, UP number 3, Orissa number 4. But for police service, Bihar number 1, Jharkhand number 2. That is common. But why, for police, Orissa is number 3 and for IAS it is UP as number 3 choice? What is the trigger when you choose IAS, UP comes before Odisha? And what is the trigger which makes Aditya to decide UP before, Odisha before UP when choosing for police service?
Yes, sir. Sir,
There must be some strong reasoning.
I think, sir, while putting down the values, I think I was a bit confident that I would be exhausted in the prior going to that many of the list. So I think that was kind of a mistake which I might have made.
So that Orissa will disappear, so it is not coming. UP will also, but UP number of vacancies are more. UP will go till the last round of your rotation.
Yes, sir.
So there is every probability that Bihar and UP.
Yes, sir.
So maybe Jharkhand and Orissa will be ruled out because of the less vacancies and
Yes,
am I
sir,
correct?
it may happen, sir.
Okay, my last question. Suppose, your choice is IAS 1, IPS 2, customs number 3, income tax number 4 and foreign service as a number 5.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is my last question.
Yes,
Why
sir.
the group A service or this income tax and customs is before, choice of Indian foreign service? What is the trigger?
Sir, I think I am more rooted in the country. So I felt that my services would be justified if I serve the people at the grassroots level.
So these foreign service officers are not rooted in the country?
Sir,
They are all rooted outside?
No, sir, not at all. That
Then?
is not my opinion. Since I had to make a choice, so it was my strategic choice that I would serve in the country rather with the people.
What is that strategic in the choice? Because I am unable to comprehend, quote and unquote strategic.
Sir, I think I wanted to be with the people in the country only.
So the foreign service officers are not with the people.
Sir, many a times I have heard they are outside of the country.
So I think, the government has, selected wrongly our Honorable Finance Minister.
Sir, not at all, sir.
Honorable External Affairs Minister.
Sir, no, sir.
He is
I
not
would.
rooted in this country. He was from the foreign
Sir,
service.
I think every services has everything to contribute and something more to contribute. But I think if I am to decide my career orientation, I feel this is where I would be able to cater to the needs of the society well. So that's why that was the choice that I have gone
So
through.
no foreign service, no societal service.
No,
It
sir,
is-
I'm not at all saying that, sir. As I mentioned also, sir, that it is based on everybody's strengths and weaknesses. So I feel those are the areas where I would be able to contribute the best.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
you like listening to Ramcharitmanas?
Sir, mostly Ram Kathas and Ramcharitmanas. Yes, sir.
So, in which language is Ramcharitmanas written?
Sir, it is in Awadhi.
Okay. So, recently there have been cases of people burning Ramcharitmanas, and it all started from Bihar only.
Yes, sir.
What was the incident?
Sir, I think it is regarding some texts, some chaupais in the text which appear to be discriminatory to certain sections of the society.
What was the chaupai?
Sir, if I correctly recall, there are many chaupais, but which I recall right now is
The one which was recited by the minister
Yes,
in the
sir.
press conference.
Sir, it was Dhol Gawar Shudra
No,
Pasunari.
it was not.
Sir, maybe then I am mistaken. This is what I recall right now because the controversy has panned out to UP also.
Yeah, so it came later. The original one was Adham Jati mein Vidya Paye Bhayu Yatha Hi Doodh Pilaye.
Doodh pilaye.
So, can you tell the meaning of this chaupai?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. What are the ideas of taxation in Ramcharitmanas? Particularly progressive taxation.
Sir, I recall not exactly, but there are certain vague contexts to that taxation part. That it should be taken in such a silent way that people should not feel that pressure, and it should come as a rainfall. When
Very
the
good. Now very good. You are hitting the nail on its head. Can you tell the Chaupai also?
Sir, sorry sir, that would be, I'm still not able to recall, but I, somewhat I can make that connection because I have been listening to that Chaupais for some time, but right now my memory is not serving me well.
Okay, can you name few of your favorite Chaupais from Ramcharitmanas?
Sure sir. Sir, the first is the Mangalacharan. That is not exactly Chaupai, but the Mangalacharan of Balakand, because it is the reverential form of prayer that Tulsidas ji has given to Ma Saraswati and Lord Ganesha. So that is my favorite. Can I recite it, sir?
Okay, if you want so, or otherwise you can tell the other one.
Other
ones
one
you
also,
like.
sir. Second, sir, I think the second chaupai that I like the most is Hoi hai wahi jo Ram rachi rakha, ko kare tark badha wahi sakha. It has a very deep philosophical meaning. Sometimes in absolute assertion of our views, we go on tend to elaborate, but we have to think that these philosophies give a very long sentences that we have to stick to our karmas, and whatever that would entail in the future, let it be in the future, because that is bound to come.
So is
that
it
would
Hoi hai wahi or Hoi hai sohi?
Hoi hai sohi jo Ram rachi rakha. As I said, sir, there are certain things, since I listened to it, but I have not been able to remember
you tell
all.
me two traits of Bhagwan Ram which you feel if imbibed by an administrator would make him an excellent administrator.
Sir, the first would be perseverance, and second would be empathy.
Okay, now how do you come to this conclusion that these are the traits of Lord Ram?
Sir,
Give the references also.
Sure, sir. Sir, empathy, because he has been very objective when he soured his love and...
Empathy and objectivity are two different.
Yes, sir.
So now you stick to empathy.
I'm sticking to empathy only, sir. What I meant to say, when he soured his love and compassion for the people, he did not discriminate, because he soured it to Kevat also, he soured it upon Sabrima also, he soured it upon even Jatayu also. So he has been very empathetic. Even in Yuddha also, there are certain instances when he asks Ravana to stop the war today and go and have some rest, because the war can be fought later also. So that is a kind of empathy that I feel, that if we have to stop somebody from committing crime, they should be given ample chances. So that would be first empathy. Second is perseverance, because many a time it happens that certain things were not going in his ways, but he did not fall upon to his debaser mean or some meaner self. He persisted in his effort, and he went on to fight the war for his wife. So I think perseverance is something that would be very critical for an administrator.
How many kands are there in Ramcharitmanas?
Sir, there are total 7 kands.
Name them.
First is Balakand, second is Ayodhya Kand, third is Aranya Kand, fourth is Kiskindha Kand, fifth is Sundar Kand, sixth is Yuddha Kand, also known as Lanka Kand, and the last is Uttar Kand.
So, what is the difference, what is the controversy about this Uttar Kand? And not just sticking to Ramcharitmanas, but rather even about Ramayans. Ramayan's Uttar Kand is extremely controversial. So, what is the controversy?
Sir, the controversy around Uttar Kand is relating to the leaving Rama his wife to forest on instance
No,
of...
that is the incidence of Uttar Kand.
Uttar Kand, yes sir.
But Uttar Kand itself is considered controversial. What is the controversy?
Sir, maybe I am not aware about.
Okay, no problem. One last question.
Yes sir.
You have won some award in Hindi essay writing.
Yes sir.
Now the standards of Hindi writing are progressively worsening.
Yes sir.
What can be the reasons behind the same?
Sir, I think it has a lot to do with the people's not being able to take up the language as a means of their career orientation. Because in a globalized world today, I think English has taken that place. And moreover,
not necessarily they all write good English.
Sir, I agree to that part, but at the same time, still a tuta-futa English is still doable in BPOs and all.
But how does that lead to worsening of Hindi?
Sir, if we are going to ignore a language, then that may create problem, because in longer run we will not be able to be well versed with the grammar and phonetics. Maybe I may be wrong, sir, or maybe I'm not aware about the entire thing.
Okay, Aditya, leave it there, sir. Over to you.
Thank you,
sir.
Aditya.
Yes, sir.
Hindi, huh? Say for instance you're posted in Tamil Nadu
Yes, sir.
and you have to propagate the language of Hindi.
Yes, sir.
How will you do it?
Sir, I think it should not be a forceful imposition. It should come from the society only. And I think going by the objectives of National Education Policy 2020, I think we have to talk to the society. We have to.
What will you do? Forget about talking to them. You are there in Tamil Nadu now. What will you do?
Sir, I'll try to talk to with the people, with the committee. There would be some agencies, and then we can form a consensus. But at the end of the day, it should not be very forceful imposition.
No, nobody is asking you to force.
Yes, sir.
What are the steps that you will take? I want to see what will be your solution. I don't want any controversy. Can you come up with a solution is what I'm asking you.
Sir, I think benefits of Hindi can be recounted for sure, because the very nature of Hindi is would be integrating to the people who come from south to north also. Because many a times what happens that people from North India, I'm not saying all the people, but many a time it happens that they are unable to understand the English. So if they are able to communicate in Hindi, that would contribute to the national unity and integrity as well.
Achha.
So I would try to align them on this line, so that they'll be able to, this would be an inherent choice from them.
Okay. Anyways, let's move forward.
Yes, sir.
You were discussing about the foreign service earlier.
To an extent, sir.
Acha. Tell me some foreign policy mistakes that we have made as a country.
Sir, I'll have to think a bit.
Think and tell me, no problem.
Sure, sir. Sir, right now I'm unable to recall any.
Not a single mistake. No mistakes India has made.
Sir, I think there have been certain mistakes, but I'm unable to recall right now, because I may be wrong.
Let me give you a hint, okay? And
Yes,
from
sir.
there you can think maybe.
Yes, sir.
Kashmir plebiscite.
Sir,
Don't tell me more about it. I'm saying think, and now give me another two more.
Sir, to an extent, it can be said to be a problem, because taking the matter to UN was not a very good choice.
So now we are saying it was not a good choice. We're
Yes,
openly
sir.
saying. Huh?
Sir, I think fighting a war after 1962 in 1965 was also bad. That could have been avoided if our administration would have wanted.
Acha. What else?
Then the return of territories in 1971, I guess.
Acha. Okay. You're guessing.
Sir, as I said, I was not very sure about those.
Not very sure.
IFS is not there.
IFS. Okay. Who is India's best friend?
Sir, I think in geopolitics, nobody is a permanent friend or nobody is a permanent enemy. But going by the current dynamics of the geopolitics, I think Russia is one of our friends.
Is India paying the price for being close to Russia?
Sir, in one way it can be seen, but I think we have been able to resist the pressures from the West, if that would have been the notion of paying the price. But I think we are doing far greater in terms of resisting that pressure. So I think we are not exactly paying the price, but we have been able to assert ourselves as a very sovereign and independent nation.
Very good. More recently,
Yes, sir.
how has Russia supported India? When I say more recently, there have been at least 2-3 incidents in the last 3-4 months where Russia has openly supported India.
Sir, I don't recall right now, sir.
Since India is such a close friend of Russia, and Honorable Prime Minister has spoken openly to the Honorable Prime Minister of Ukraine as well, isn't it? Why isn't India mediating in the war between Ukraine and Russia?
Sir, I think our Prime Minister has been very vocal that it is a war between two nations and it should be settled between two nations who are sovereign in their nature. And at the same time, he has also asserted that today's era is not an era of war but an era of peace.
Correct. So someone should mediate and help solve the problem, isn't it?
Exactly, sir. But going by the multilateral institutions like UNO and some others, they have not been able to broker a peace. So I think
UN can't broker a peace because Russia is part. Russia has veto powers.
Yes, sir.
Then?
Sir, I think
So UN is left redundant.
Sir, I think two nations would be able to broker a peace by themselves because
By themselves.
Because sir,
See, the war was supposed to end in 1 month.
Yes, sir.
It's been more than a year now,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? Who's winning the war in Ukraine?
Sir, I think nobody is winning the war because at the end of the day there would be a lot of casualties and mankind will obviously lose.
Okay, let's get out of this foreign policy, huh?
Yes,
You
sir.
don't like it too much.
No, sir, it's not like that.
Okay. What has been done to tackle our banking woes?
Sir, the major challenge was regarding the NPAs because it has shot to almost 11 to 12%.
2-3 points you tell me quickly.
Sir, the first, the very assessment of the assets, so that the first. Second was the merger because weak banks were merged with the strong banks.
Okay.
And then regulatory frameworks have been strengthened so that some information symmetry can be done, so that there
Okay.
is a very clear-cut information.
IBC?
Yes, sir. They have been able to reduce so much of cases of, I guess, 42.5% of the cases.
Okay. 2 social sector schemes that you would like to re-engineer or reform, other than Manrega.
Sir, I think first would be finding a symbiosis between the National Food Security Act and Antyodaya because it creates a loop between loop. So first that would be because a proper implementation is required. That would be first. And second social sector scheme would be Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, Aditya, when is your interview?
Sir, 22nd March.
Okay. So, and have you appeared in UPSC for any interview in the past?
No, sir, this would be my first attempt.
This is your first interview, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So you are basically a good candidate. You can speak well. You are generally calm and self-assured. You are pleasant to talk to. I think that in the limited time that is now available with you, you probably need to focus on improving your knowledge base to build good conversation on a variety of subjects.
Yes,
And
sir.
this preparation now, because you have 15 days, so you have to really work on a very, very short and very focused manner.
Yes, sir.
So I would say that first of all, spend 1 day on your, and you basically see that your DAF and all DAF related things, you have to strengthen everything which is there. Make a list of some questions, maybe 100, 150, and be very thorough with them. But specifically go prepare for your state.
Yes, sir.
On that, your answer were good with reference to Bihar. I think your answer was generally sound, but still, I think that is one area that you can be sure of that somebody may ask.
Yes, sir.
The other thing is about Government of India schemes.
Yes, sir.
At least 5 schemes each on social sector, on financial sector, on infrastructure sector, defense, like that. You make a list of some 25 schemes and be very thorough with that.
Yes, sir, I'll do.
Then I think on external affairs you are weak. You need to again, you take any magazine
Yes, sir.
Any magazine, you would be knowing what are the good magazines, but some good magazine, couple of months, you go through whatever foreign affairs related things are there. They will all usually cover the important visits, important meetings. So they will cover all these things, G20 and all, everything will get covered.
Yes, sir.
At least from that magazine, at least to that extent, you should be geared up to kind of at least answer some of the basic questions which may arise.
Yes, sir.
And then in this remaining period, please read whatever newspaper you are reading. You please read it thoroughly. And which one do you read actually?
Sir, I read Hindu.
Okay, that's a good newspaper. You read it thoroughly. You read the editorial. You read they actually cover a lot of things.
Yes,
So I think if you do this, then probably you will easily be able to cover at least 75% of the questions. And it is not that the answer to the questions themselves are important. The important thing is to build a conversation which can show that you are a person with a mature, analytical mind, balanced view, and you can take decisions.
Yes, sir.
That is the purpose of interview, to judge your personality. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So please do this exercise. I think you will do very well. And things like your answer on Hindi, those kind of things, you basically need to elevate these things to a higher level. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, I think the question which the honorable member was trying to help you with, failures in diplomacy, you should be alert to what the honorable member is trying to guide you to.
Yes, sir.
And then from that point onwards, you should have picked up the thread.
Yes, sir.
And basically, the question, for example, on Hindi was that if you are in Tamil Nadu, how would you encourage people to learn Hindi? So if you have to elevate it, it is you really try to see what can be a creative solution to the problem.
Yes, sir.
If anybody can say that I will hold classes, there is that way there are already existing things. You have to say that now there is greater movement on economic relations, and this is also currently there is a problem. Of migrant labor.
Yes, sir.
So the industrialists, you have to say that in your supervisors and others, you have they should have some degree of fluency in Hindi if they are dealing with so many of these laborers. Ask them to learn a little bit of the culture of Bihar, so that they understand that people of Bihar, how cultured they are, how advanced that civilization had been in the past.
Yes, sir.
So like that you try to bring in softer elements.
And sir,
Yes, sir.
I will learn Tamil.
First,
You
first cheat code is this.
First,
I will
myself.
start by learning Tamil myself.
Yes, sir.
Leading
learn
with
Tamil
example.
myself.
Yes, sir.
So you need to really elevate these things to a higher level.
Yes, sir.
Don't answer these questions in a linear fashion.
Yes, sir.
So if you do it, link it with economic activities, then obviously that eventually if people need to learn Hindi to make more profit, they will learn Hindi.
They will learn it. Yes, sir.
Or to keep their jobs. So I would say that make these things, and similarly please avoid this kind of catch-all phrases that everybody loses in wars. This is not, these are all in real life, these kind of homilies have no value.
No values. Yes, sir.
There are some people who lose more and some people who don't.
Yes, sir.
So be objective and be analytical.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
You are a good candidate. You please do in these 15 days this kind of structured work,
Yes,
and you
sir.
can do very well.
Yes,
My
sir.
best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Aditya, how much will you give out of 10 this mock interview? Self-assessment.
Sir, I think I'll go with 5.5 to 6.
Why? So
Many questions I was not able to address. So I
Okay.
think somewhere I lagged in those aspects.
but you are calm, composed, confident, self-assuring. Sir ने इतने कुछ बताया. ठीक है, because foreign service is not your choice, so you couldn't answer such question.
Yes, sir.
Those were bouncer questions. Am I correct?
To an extent.
Then
sir.
you went down.
With the questions of sir, I think even if I was able to answer, so somewhere there was a feeling of from internally only, कि if I would answer, this may create some controversy. So I thought it's better that I keep mum. That is the best way.
Very good.
No, no.
नहीं this is not a good
That
strategy.
is not a good
इसका जवाब दीजिए प्रधान साहब आप प्लीज.
सुनो आदित्य, देखो हम कोकून के अंदर चले जाए, वो सिल्क का वो जो है ना, वो
Yes,
जानते हो
sir.
ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है,
Cocoon.
मलबरी.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, उसे नहीं करना है. See what the UPSC is looking for, progressive, forward looking minded. The young civil servant who is going to represent New India
Yes, sir.
with lots of enthusiasm, positivity, So you should go with that kind of, energy.
Yes, sir.
Is it forenoon or afternoon?
Right now, if it is after 6,
अरे
then
नहीं भाई तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू
afternoon. Sorry.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
But you have lots of energy, okay? All the best, you will do well, but this black tie,
Yes,
will
sir.
you go with this?
even the suit should be changed sir.
Should I change?
हाँ इस वक्त हाँ,
देखो
इसको
सुनो,
नहीं
Too
बनाना.
shiny sir.
नहीं यार सुनो
Sir,
चित्रेश,
I'll be able to change it, no problem.
okay, you can manage.
Yes, sir. I'll obviously I'll get a new shoot. If you would say that if it is a problem, I'll surely
No,
change
no,
it.
nothing is problem. Your
Party
shirt
wear.
is very good.
Yes, sir.
But this shining part of this glossiness.
Sir, this my dad also told me that you are going in a
Party
shiny
wear.
suit.
It's party wear.
Only thing, if it would have been in matte finish,
Yes.
so you understand, na, matte versus
sir.
glossy.
Yes, sir.
So this is, otherwise the choice is yours, but at least change the black tie.
Yes, sir. I'll change it.
Okay? And don't
I'll
use
change the suit also, sir.
We will leave it to you because see, these are minor things, It is not a fashion parrot, to be very honest.
Yes, sir.
But always it is the content which matters and your response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but my last advice, you are using this word, I think, several times. I wrote 4-5 times, then I stopped writing it.
Yes, sir.
No, you can use in 30 minutes, you can use once or twice.
Yes, sir.
To my mind. Change this conversation, I think. Then you can say to my mind, sir. But if you use, I think, so that becomes little, at least I wrote 4-5 times, then I thought, no, I should not write it. Okay,
Yes.
only my advice that you change this tie color. That's
Yes,
all.
sir.
All the best, you will do well.
Thank you, sir.
So Aditya,
Yes, sir.
see 2-3 things. One, don't get into these hyperboles. It was my strategic decision. What is strategic about it?
Yes, sir.
Then it was a very poor answer on IFS, and then you got into confrontational mode. Don't.
एक मिनट, can I
Sir,
interrupt
sir,
you for a
please,
minute?
please.
Was there a strategy in it? I think there was.
Sir,
इंटरव्यू खत्म है, you can खुल के
हाँ,
बोलो
अभी
अभी.
खुल
to
के
be
बताओ.
very fair, sir, I did not want to leave the country.
अच्छा, that was
strategy
only
तो
फिर
वही
इसमें
है
कोई
तो-
strategy क्या है?
Exactly. So you can simply say, why are you saying that I want to be with the people? You say, sir, I want to be in the country itself.
बस खत्म बात.
Be with the people. अरे बाहर क्या जानवरों के साथ थोड़ी हो, आप इंसान ही हैं.
Yes, sir.
See, when you use fancy language, you get into trap.
जयशंकर साहब नीचे गिर
Earlier
गए।
also you used one hyperbole, reviving the ancient education system of Nalanda. If someone goes into Nalanda and what is happening into there, you will be in trouble. Why are you using these fancy terms?
Yes, sir.
In simpler words, you can answer better. Don't
Yes.
think very fancy things. Simple is always better.
Yes, sir.
And you are talking about logistics and also I would suggest you that you read a bit on dedicated freight corridor also because that is an important project. And Hindi writing standards are falling because people are writing Hindi in Roman script now. Social media and WhatsApp. मैं आ रहा हूँ MAIAARAHAHU.
Yes, sir.
तो how will they know कि कहाँ पंक्ति लगानी है और कहाँ पूर्ण विराम और अर्धविराम
अब तो फुल स्टॉप के लिए डॉट लगा के छोड़
Exactly.
दे रहे हैं.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So that's why standards of writing Hindi are falling very steeply.
Yes, sir.
And again, you are saying कि अभी आपने बोला खुद ही भगवान राम की क्वालिटी परसिवरेंस और वहाँ बोल दिया कि इसलिए मैं चुप बैठा था. Aren't you contradicting yourself?
Yes, sir. To an extent.
And when you have specifically mentioned you like listening to Ramcharitmanas, at least be very specific with 15-20 chopais and learn them by heart. And
Yes, sir, I'll do it.
these are the full toss balls you should hit out of park.
Yes, sir.
परसिवरेंस कहाँ है तो फट से बोल दोगे, विनय न मानत जलधि जड़ गए 3 दिन बीती, बोले श्री राम सकोप तब भय बिन हुए न प्रीति. तो फिर
सर वो अचानक आपने पूछा तो मैं रिकॉल ही नहीं कर पा रहा था.
अरे भाई
To be
वहाँ
very fair.
बहुत ज्यादा विद्वान लोग बैठे होंगे, वो तो कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं.
Yes, sir.
On the other side of the table, there will be a collective experience of more than 300 years.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, you cannot beat them in knowledge, but you can be humble and you can try as much as possible. You tell them the answers, whatever you can give.
Yes, sir.
So that is all. Of course, everyone knows that foreign policy is your Achilles heel. So there we pass the baton to our experts, sir.
See, Aditya, I deliberately asked you those questions on foreign policy because, see, sometimes the board also will not let go after a point in time.
Yes, sir.
If you make blunders like that, and this was something that you called upon yourself.
Yes, sir.
I had not written down a single question on foreign policy for you. But because you had that whole interaction there where you didn't know how to handle yourself or handle that question, I said, चलो भाई, इसको थोड़ा और pressure में डाल देते हैं.
Yes, sir.
And I also knew that you deliberately were not answering that question of foreign policy mistakes, and you also know you can give me 5-6 now if I ask you. You have them on your mind.
Yes.
You were deliberately not answering, that's why I gave you the example also. I said, chalo bhai. And you see, like the honorable member has said, there is experience on this side. So you know exactly what you're doing and what you're trying to do and what you're not doing also.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot bluff your way out of these things.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? So you please say whatever you have to say and don't run away.
Yes, sir.
It shows very poor quality as an IAS officer. Imagine some challenges put before you, you run away from there. लोग फोन करे जा रहे आईएएस डीएम साहब को, डीएम साहब तो है ही नहीं वहाँ पे.
तो फोन नहीं हो क्योंकि वो डर रहे कि बाद
मैं
में
सोचा
तो
फोन नहीं
firing
उठाना will be
करनी
the best
पड़ेगी।
strategy.
Exactly.
फोन नहीं उठाना will be the
हाँ,
best.
so it's like, you know, फोन नहीं उठाना बेस्ट स्ट्रैटेजी हो गया ये तो.
साहब मीटिंग में है.
सब मीटिंग में.
ये अच्छी
ठीक
बात
है.
है।
No,
It's
sir,
not
I'll
good. So,
persevere.
do you understand the situation
sir.
or the gravity of the situation?
Yes, sir.
One more thing. Hitherto, 4 times. What is hitherto? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Keep it simple, बाबा. ये इंग्लिश का टेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
It is test of personality. The more simple you keep it, the better it is. Simple अंग्रेजी में बोलो.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Now foreign policy, it's fine. You just find an answer to this question of why 5. Truthful, honest, convincing answer.
Yes, sir.
Then there will not be any more questions on foreign policy mistakes, strategic mistakes that India has made and all that will not be there.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Those questions came because of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Then, the Honorable Chair has already told you about this Ukraine, Russia and all that. You know, you can't say, war, nobody is a winner in war. You bringing your philosophy there
Yes, sir.
where it is not required. Foreign policy is all about nuanced language.
Yes, sir.
There you're getting philosophical. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're very, very good. Aditya, you're extremely good. Just keep these few things in mind
Yes,
about
sir.
not English का knowledge test नहीं हो रहा. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost. Keep it simple and don't run away from the situation. Tackle every situation that is thrown at you.
Yes,
And if you honestly don't know, if you be honest and truthful, that's all I have to say to you. Be honest and truthful, you will do very, very well. क्या हो गया?
No, sir. I was just thinking
सोच
कि if my blunt answers may bring some kind of disharmony, like कि नहीं.
Okay, let me help.
एक मिनट
Yes, please.
what is the situation in which your blunt
Like
answer
क्या
सर
blunt answer
जैसे अगर मैं बोलूँ कि 1971 में हमने क्यों वापस कर दिया, तो इट में फील कि मतलब थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम था. हम तो ये ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड पे हमने किया, हमने प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर्स को जाने दिया.
बता दीजिए
परफेक्ट पॉइंट है.
तुम वापस कर दिया तो what is the problem?
ज्यादा सोच रहे हो.
At that point in time, in this prevailing situation, we took the best possible decision.
Yes,
in
sir.
hindsight, 30-50 years later, it is easy for us to look back and say that is a mistake. But India has always done what it has done, considering the most important aspect of that point in time.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Today what we are doing also 50 years later somebody will बैठ के बोलेगा तो ये तो गलत कर दिया, गलत था. तो 50 years later the picture looks very different.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We have the luxury of 50 years of history between us.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In
Exactly.
71 they didn't have that luxury.
Yes, sir.
What they did at that point in time was in their understanding in interest of the country.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
A lot of water has flown under the bridge from then to now.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Isn't that better?
ये जो
That is the truth also, that is the fact.
Yes, sir.
It was not a mistake.
No, it was not a
But
mistake.
50 years later when we look at it, it is a mistake.
ये समझ रहे हो कि नहीं जो
Yes, sir.
point वो the honorable member is making, there is an important distinction. Please understand that.
Yes,
ये
sir.
जो आपका फेवरेट वर्ड है ना हिथर्टो, ये उसकी बहन है हाइंडसाइट,
जी.
जिससे सब आसान लगता है.
And if you feel not necessarily with foreign policy, other issues pay, you will go by the constitution, rule of law. There is nothing above that. And no ideology, not your ideology or anybody else's ideology. If you stick to this and your answers are around this, you can talk about anything.
Yes,
Just
sir.
remember that.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Constitution is the core.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया. All the best.
Thank you so much,
All
sir.
the
अच्छा करोगे.
Thank you so much, sir.
खुश रहो, आराम से जाना.
Aditya, take this. All the best. And also, I'll suggest one thing.
Yes,
You read a bit about the changes brought by Sandeep Bakshi in ICICI Bank, because
Yes,
he
sir.
has changed ICICI Bank like anything. He has done something which Aditya Puri was able to do in HDFC Bank, and
Yes, sir.
remarkable work has been done in ICICI Bank. So he has completely transformed the banking industry.
Yes, sir. I'll read about it.
So read about it, because you have an experience in that bank.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the
Good.
Thank
All
you,
the
sir.
best.
Sir, any score that I would go ahead
We
with?
don't give, we don't give.
We are not in that
देखो
business.
ये this is क्या कहोगे simulation kind of scenario.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Don't
sir.
go
I
by-
agree.
But you will do well.
You'll do
Thank
it.
you so much, sir.
All the best, Aditya.
Thank you so much, sir.
All the
Thanks a
best.
lot, sir.